friends, welcome back to Lakeisha Loves to Plant. Today I'm doing something different. I am refurbishing an old hutch. I got this hutch off of a Facebook marketplace very close to my house. So my husband and I, we drove to the storage unit where the former owners had it stored, and we put it in our truck and we brought it home, and it's sitting right in the middle of my living room that is like very junky right now because I'm getting ready for fall and all of my fall decorations are out. But I'm taking off the fixtures, and as you can see, this hutch is old. The owner said their parents purchased this in 1960. So you're talking about a piece of furniture that's over 40 years old, and I am going to refurbish it. So I am removing the fixtures, and then I'm going to clean it up. And I took all of the brass fixtures off, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with those fixtures later. And forgive me for all the turning of the camera. I am the only cameraman working this video, so that's why you see me doing this, and I'm talking to my son, and you're going to see him help me out in this process. But I have to say, this is my first time ever doing a project this big. I painted in my bathroom and I did the floors, but nothing like this. So I'm taking some Mr. Clean, and I absolutely love this stuff. It smells so good, and it cleans everything like bleach without the bleach. I just love this stuff. But anyway, I'm taking a microfiber cloth and just washing it down really well. I already did the top part over there, so I'm just going to continue to wash this off, wash it really good, because I'm using chalk paint today, and I want to make sure the chalk paint sticks, and so there's no sticky stuff. And with old furniture, who knows like what has been piling on this. But I can say for sure that the former owners of this hutch took really good care of it. I mean, for this to be like a 40-year-old piece of furniture, it's really well kept. So I'm gonna finish this off, and now look how it looks. It's nice and clean, and so I'm about to paint. I have some sandpaper here, I have a roller, and I got all this stuff from Lowe's. I have some small chalk paint brushes. I have the chalk paint here that I got from Walmart, and I actually got 2 of those, and I got a paint brush, and I got some paint sealant, so you put that on so it won't get fingerprints on it. And then this is a chalk paint brush, and that brush was pretty expensive. That brush was like $18, but it was worth it. And then I got this to put the paint in, the paint stick, and this to open up the paint cans. Alright, so what you see me doing here is I'm going to pour a little bit of chalk paint at a time into this container here. This container was really helpful because I can hold it. It has a little handle on it. I could also put the little chalk paint brush in that little part right there to separate it. So and this was like some cents. It was pretty good. So right now I'm going to just coat this, and Jaden's coming to help me a little bit, but I just let him, get a little taste of what it's like to use this, but he soon disappears because I have to finish this off. So now I am proceeding, and it's nighttime, so I'm just proceeding to just do one coat and then go to bed. Like, I'm just painting one little coat, and I'm not focusing on like complete coverage because I know I'm gonna have to do 2 or 3 coats of this just from watching other YouTube videos and watching how people cover. But let me tell you about this chalk paint. It is freaking amazing. Like, you don't need to do anything extra. I didn't prime it or anything. I just started painting and it worked really well, and Jaden's doing so good. Thanks, Jaden. And so now I'm gonna have Jaden watch me do it, and he's so good. He's like watching me in awe. He's like, "Is that how you do it, Mommy?" He's so attentive. So good job, Jaden. So after I paint this side, I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to focus on the back part of the hutch. But just beware when you're doing this, if you're not used to moving, you're going to ache. Like my back was aching, my legs were aching, but I was having so much fun. This was a 3-day project. So right now I'm using the chalk paint brush, which was worth every penny. It was $18 for this one brush, y'all. It was worth it, because this one brush literally carried the whole was very difficult to paint initially, just because it just has so many nooks and crannies. It has the scalloped section on the front of it, and so I'm just right now focusing on just coating. That's my main thing right now, is just to coat it with the first coat, because once that first coat is on, I'm thinking this is going to get a little easier. But I can't lie, I had so much fun just using this chalk paint. This stuff is so good. If you're you know want to refurbish any cabinets or wood, chalk paint is the way to go. You have to get this stuff. It's so great. You know what? I also debated whether I was going to paint the backing or not. The back of this is not really wood. It's like a backing that looks like wood. It's a pretty strong backing though. It's different from the backing you normally get with regular furniture that's really flimsy and thin. This is really nice backing, but I didn't want to keep the backing wood with the wood color, so I just tried the chalk paint on the backing, and it pretty much worked, so I was happy about that. Is covered. I'm moving to the Hutch doors for the bottom, and I really didn't know how to do this. I mean, I just held it up for the most part. I decided that I was not going to paint inside the hutch because like nobody's going to see that part, and this thing, it's already a big project. And so I'm not painting the inside of the doors, only the outside of the doors, and then I'm just gonna leave them here to dry. But later on I end up using a paint can to sit these on, just so I can make sure I get all of the edges, because I didn't want to really get the paint all over the place. And I'm in my living room, and I definitely did not want to get this paint on my hard floors, even though I got a little bit on my hard floors. But I can say that this chalk paint is wonderful. It came off really easily with some soap and water, so I ended up having zero paint on my floors after doing this project, which is totally amazing. And of course my pants got totally ruined during this process, but that's okay, because I think these pants already had like some sort of spots on them anyway. So as you can see, the day got away from me. It is nighttime, and I have red lights in my living room, and so that's why the lighting looks crazy. But just know that it was pretty simple doing these doors. I actually like doing the doors. It was almost like holding a pizza as I continued to make sure I got all the grooves. There was a lot of grooves in these doors that I had to make sure I got to. So now it's time to wrap up. Let me give you a summary. Alright y'all, so I am finished with cleaning and the top coat, and I'm going to let it dry overnight, get some rest, and then tomorrow I will put the second coat on. So I may have to do 3 or 4 coats. It all just depends on how I like it and what goes through. I also need to run to the store and get some black spray paint, because I want to clean the fixtures and spray paint them black to give that farmhouse feel. So good night, and I'll see you for day 2. Let me just show you what I've done so far. So this is the first coat on the bottom half, and these are the 2 drawers done, and this is the hutchy part. I did not paint up there, but let me see if I can get you. Oh yeah, see, this is how the inside looks. So I did paint that, and that little groove part right there was extremely hard to paint, but I got it all painted. And over here is where I have the cabinets. So yeah, so that's how day 1 looks. And here's another angle of the top of the hutch. And I decided to paint the inside panels as well. Those are pretty strong panels. They're wood-like, so I just wanted this whole thing to be white. I didn't want any of the old wood to come through. So once this completely dries, I'll be doing another coat. Alright everyone, this is day 2. I just woke up, I got dressed, so now I'm about to mix the paint and start with coat number 2. Alright, so I'm starting over again with the second coat, and I decided that I'm not cleaning up this living room until I am finished with this hutch, because it's a little overwhelming. But I'm also transitioning my decor from summer to fall, so my house is a big ball of transition, and all of my kids are like, what is mommy doing in the living room? But hey, you gotta do something that makes you happy, something creative. So I am putting on the second coat now, and I'm starting to see how powerful this chalk paint is. It looks very good, and I'm just enjoying going over the first coat, because the first coat looked a little scary and not really covered and all over the place, and this coat is making it look more white and bright and farmhousey like I imagined it to be. And so I'm really happy with it, and I'm just going crazy. So I'm going to continue to coat this up. As you can see, I'm scooching on the floor. My little feet are wiggling because I'm just enjoying myself here. And I am so excited this is turning out right because I've never done anything like this before and I had no idea how this is going to turn out. I forgot to mention how much I paid for this hutch. This hutch was $150. Well, they had it on sale for $250. Then they had it on sale for $225. But my first offer was $150 and they took it. So I thought, you know, some people I saw, they got hutches for like $60 and stuff, but this is a really huge hutch. And when I looked online, I looked on Wayfair, I looked on Walmart, Amazon, I even looked at, what is that other place that sells furniture? Starts with, is it? Overstock. I don't know why I couldn't think. I even looked at Overstock. Y'all, these hutches are like, sorry about the camera action here. I'm my own cameraman today. These hutches are normally like thousands of dollars. Like the hutches that I really liked, they were like $3,000 and up. So when I say I felt like I got a really good deal, and then all of my materials, the paint, the brushes and everything came to about $100. So I ended up paying $250 or so for it anyway, just because I had to get the paint. This chalk paint is not cheap. The chalk paint cost $20 a can from Walmart. And I had to get 2 cans because I ended up using 1.5 cans of paint. So now I'm going to switch the camera around again so you can see me do a second coat. And I was not going to paint the top of this because I was like, nobody's going to see the top of this. But then my husband came in the door and he was like, you got to paint the top. So instead of 3 coats at the top, I'm just going to do like 2 coats at the top because I really don't care about the top. Nobody's going to see the top. But my husband was right. He was like, if we ever want to resell it, and we want it to look nice and people are going to want the top to look white. And guess what? I'm glad I listened to my husband because he was right. I like the top being white. So thanks, hubby. So I'm going to continue to paint this. I am going to finish painting the second coat. I already can see that I'm going to need a third coat because it's just not covering like I want. So I'm being patient. I'm going to put as many coats on there as I need to. So let me finish doing this and then I'll show you the end result. Alright, so I just finished my second coat. As you can see, it doesn't look as scratchy as before. Like, this is only 1 coat. I'm only doing 1 coat at the top because like nobody's going to see that, and I wasn't going to paint that, but I'm glad I just did 1 coat at the top. But as you can see, it's looking less like just streaks of paint. And I also did these again. So this is like my second coat. And as you can see, there's still some streaks in there, so that's why I said I know I'm gonna have to do a third coat because the streaks, you see that it's still not even, but I'm really happy with the progress so far. So I'm going to let this dry for a few hours, and then I'm gonna come back for the third coat. Hopefully, I am guessing that the third coat will be the last coat, and then I'm going to spray paint the fixtures that were on there and let those dry as well. Okay everyone, this is day 3. Last night I put the second and third coats on, and then you have to let one coat dry before you put the next coat on, and I did that. And then I had to do a little touch-ups, but this morning when I got up, like, it was perfect to me. Like, the colors were perfect. So I got some sealant. Let me show you what I used. I used this sealant. It says Chalky Finish Clear Sealing Wax. So I used this to seal it. It only took 1 can for the entire hutch, okay? 1 can. Whereas for the paint, here's the paint. Like I showed you earlier, I had to use actually 1.5 cans of paint. So if you're going to do this project and paint a hutch, you probably need 1.5 cans of paint. Also with the sealant, I use this brush right here. I didn't use the same brush that I used to paint. So I want to turn the camera around so you can see where I am so far. And I also spray painted the fixtures with a chalky charcoal spray paint. So I'll show you that in a minute too. Alright, so I'm going to get down here. You see my shadow a little bit, but this is the finish. And after 3 coats, it came out really nice and white. I was going to use the sanding paper to de-stress it, but come on, camera. But I actually like the pure white, and you can see I have the wax on it right here. So, but I like the pure white. I don't think I want to distress it. And so this is how it looks, the finished product. Get a little closer here. And then that's the other little drawer over there. So I'm pretty satisfied with how this turned out. I wasn't going to paint the top, but my husband was like, you gotta paint the whole thing. So I did not wax the top, but I did paint it. How that turned out. And I'm going to show you how this looks on top of this as soon as the sealant dries. Oh, and what the next thing I have to do is get I'm going to get a microfiber cloth and like buff out the sealant. Okay, so let's go to the garage so you can see the spray painted fixtures. Okay, so we're going out to the garage. They look nice. I used a charcoal paint. These were like an old brass. Remember, this hutch was from the 1960s, so I spray painted them. Let's see. Yeah, they're getting dry, but they're not all the way dry, so I'll probably leave these out here for most of the day just so they can dry, and then I'll just come back and check on them. But the fixtures are going to be this beautiful matted charcoal. And so I'll show you the can that I used. This is the charcoal, the paint that I use. It's a matted, ultra matte paint, spray paint with a chalky smooth finish. And I got this from Walmart as well as the paint. I got the sealant from, I got the charcoal paint from Walmart, and I got the sealant from Lowe's. because Walmart didn't have the sealant. So yeah, so that is all. I did not use the sandpaper, and I did not use the primer that I got from Lowe's. So I think I got the sandpaper from Walmart, so I might keep that because I can use that for something else. But that primer is going back, so I saved me a little bit of points. All right, everyone, so I moved the hutch here, and I took some of the fixtures that were dry and I replaced them. So I'm satisfied with how that looks. The only thing is the doors. So I forgot to spray paint a hinge and a knob. So I'm gonna, I spray painted these hinges. Oh yeah, these hinges right here, I've already spray painted. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this door. This door is ready, and this door is ready, but this door is not ready because I have a hinge out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the doors on, and then I'm gonna show you the final reveal. All right, so I finally got all the fixtures on, and I think it looks so nice. Took a while, but it's done. So this is the nighttime view. And the light is kind of off in here because it's nighttime. So I'll come back in here in the morning and film it with fresh sunlight. All right, everyone, here's one last look. Inspired you to be creative and just enjoy decorating.